Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the first Sword Art Online movie, Ordinal Scale.
Yes, we finally got to see it.
Only took 20 years.
Yes. Now this takes place between seasons 1 and 2 of the anime. And Japan is enjoying the arrival of a new AR game called Ordinal Scale, which lets the user fuse fantasy with reality all the time. Now, as always, there's someone attempting to mess with the system and kill people. So, as people who played SAO begin to lose their memories of being in the game after a few battles, Kirito, as always, must find who's behind it before all of his friends lose their memories, or worse, for good.
Yes. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click occasionally updates on future podcasts and multi-pause videos.
You know, the first thing I said when we began watching this is, why do they not stop these games?
Yes!
Why do they keep doing these games? We're watching Gun Gale, and I made that comment. I'm like, there's always some idiot in here who wants to kill people, and something always goes wrong and always takes people out. But in this universe, no, let's just keep making games. We made a game where 10,000 people played and 4,000 died, but what the heck? Up yours, kid.
Yeah.
Let's keep making
Yeah, that's just a small price to pay for progress. Yeah, you think by now, it's like, you know what, forget VR. Just shut it all down. If someone keeps trying to take out people and it's going bonkers, just shut the whole thing down.
Now, to his credit, Kirito had no intention of playing this. He said he didn't want to do it. It wasn't his style. He had no interest in it. But again, as we mentioned, when things started going horribly wrong, then he decided to get involved.
Right.
Because that's just the type of person he is.
Right. And when it first starts off, they explain how the Ordinal Scale works. Like we said, they are sort of in the virtual reality all the time, but they're not like, they don't have to put on a headset or anything. Sort of like a Bluetooth. And then it comes up almost like goggles, and they can just walk around. It's sort of like Pokemon Go all the time. They can
On
talk,
steroids.
right? They can talk, interact, do karaoke, anything without having to lie down somewhere and put on the headset and be immersed. It'll just come to them. They can even do the battles and meet up and just play a real life game right in the middle of the street.
Right. Which is pretty different. And it's really popular. People are playing it. They're loving it. And then things start to happen very strangely.
Right. There's this guy that looks like he's supposed to be a swordsman. You couldn't tell at first where was he supposed to be from, how he's getting there. It looks like he was beating people who have played specifically SAO, and he was gathering their all of their memories and their skills so he could use them. And then it turns out that the reason why he was doing this because he wanted to
Beat
out Kirito.
Everyone wants to take down the black swordsman.
Yeah, that was pretty much what happened. And the people were actually really getting hurt because they weren't in a virtual world, and you know, they'll get hurt, they get taken out, but come right back next time. And no, this guy was hurting them for real. They were ending up in the hospital. And so they had to adjust to the fact that, you know, they're not in a video game. They act like they are, but they're not.
And the thing, as you mentioned, that stands out is they start realizing they don't remember much from SAO. There are big chunks of memory that are gone from their experience in the game.
Right.
And then, of course, it ends up happening to Asuna because she comes in with Kirito to play.
Right. And for Kirito, he had to really adjust to the game because
It was very physical.
Everything was physical instead of just being in the mind and having to do it in the mind. He had to like kind of learn it almost all over again because his body wasn't used to moving like that in the real world. So that was part of his struggle with the game. But for Asuna, I guess she had practiced anyway outside the game, so it was really no big deal for her.
Asuna's more fit she was more fit than Kirito when this movie started out.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. And they do actually have some humorous bits of them using Ordinal Scale. It's like, oh, this seems fun, and then like you said, someone has to come along and ruin it, and this guy kind of ruins it because, like I said, the people are getting hurt. He's literally putting all these people in hospitals, and when he beats them in the game, or the boss beats them, they lose. He's set up to make them lose the memory and the skill and everything, and he downloads it, and he gains their skills so he can become unbeatable.
Now,
which still didn't happen.
Right. Now there's this singer who appears in the game when you reach certain levels or you end up being the winner for that day.
Right.
She appears and she comes and she does a performance. She's a virtual reality artist. And then she'll kiss you or
when you
congratulate you or something.
Yeah, when you win the game, yeah.
And she begins to show up in different places. Actually, Kirito starts seeing her outside of the game, and he thinks he's losing his mind, but he's not. And she is there because she wants him to realize something is off, and there's something that he needs to take notice of.
Yeah.
In order to do what he needs to do. So without telling too much of what goes on, he finally understands, you know, what she's telling him. You learn more about her and her background. As you say, you learn more about this player who's taking everyone's memories and their skills and making them his own.
Right.
You learn about the man who created the game, and yes, he's crazy just like the rest of them have been.
Right.
In the other seasons.
Right.
And a true testament to this franchise. They make it so interesting that it doesn't seem like, okay, I'm just watching something I've seen already. This is just like SAO or GGO or one of the fantasy levels. No, it's really something different, something unexpected, and they really do well with this movie by making it, you don't want to see it end. You realize it's just a movie.
It's nearly 2 hours.
Right. But you don't want it to end. You were wishing that it was a series, that they had taken more time to develop some of the storylines, to see more going on. But it's done so well that you wish that it were longer.
Yeah. And a lot of these anime movies have a real talent for making movies just so engaging and worthwhile that you wish there was more of it. Like, what you see is not enough. Not because it was bad, because it was so good you just could watch it go on and on and on and on. And for this, we didn't know what to expect for the movie, but I am glad that we were so pleasantly surprised. They managed to put out something completely new and completely different from what you see in the previous seasons. No, you didn't get to see Miss Kirito, but it was still a fantastic movie. And at the very end, when they leave for the after credits scene, that leads into the next season.
Now, all the players, or all their friends, we should say, who are players in the other games, do make an appearance here. And as usual, they come to help them out, telling them you don't have to do this alone. We're here for you. We're your friends. So that's a great part as always. And then there are things that happen within this movie that when you get to season 3, if you haven't seen it, like we did when we saw season 3, when did this happen? When did that happen? When did that happen? Well, guess what? It all took place during this movie, so if you don't see the movie, then those little bits and pieces won't make sense to you in season 3.
Right.
So, unlike us, we watched it after season 3 and 4. You should watch it between seasons 2 and 3 if you haven't seen it.
Right.
So, if you have seen Ordinal Scale, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you're one of those people that were fortunate enough to see this entire series in its entirety with the movies, let us know what you think of the movies in general, and are you looking forward to season 5 that we've been told is going to come out.
Right.
And if you haven't seen it, it's available on Hulu. The second movie is also available, which you're going to see, and the series itself is available. Seasons 1 and 2 and 3 are available on Netflix, but not 4 yet.
Right. So.
But all the seasons are available on Hulu.
Right. Oh, and be sure to like, subscribe, click notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and one of Paws videos.
And the next SAO movie.
Yes. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Oscar Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.